Absolutely.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to a special edition Wednesday afternoon Blitz presented with ASAP and our boy Chris Gons at Gonzo Sports Room. Before we start anything, um, all of you have may heard for the past couple of weeks now that Chris had to go and get back surgery. We would like to announce that Chris had successful back surgery today, and he is making a full recovery. We love you, Chris, and we hope for a speedy recovery, and we hope that you come back to the ASAP family as soon as possible. We know that he will be here Saturday for our live watch along for WWE's pay per view Elimination Chamber, which is live in Montreal. It's going to be a great one, but other than that, we're gonna continue to go along with the show with or without Chris. You know, we gotta do it for our boy Chris Gons, and we're gonna keep the train rolling for him. So with that being said, you got two out of the three main people that's always on ASAP Afternoon Blitz. With me is my boy Poor Jay McLovin. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well again, man. Like you said, shout out to Gonzo. We love you, man. And I'm glad the back surgery was successful. Now you can actually go out and start working and get your butt back on here as soon as you feel better. But until then, rest up, eat your vegetables, and do what your dad tells you to do. Other than that, Frankie, man, it's a hell of a good day, man. I'm ready to talk some sports, man. What about them damn Boston Celtics? Damn near fully depleted, putting some scrubs out there, and damn near almost beating the Bucks. What a time to be alive. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, it was crazy. That was that was into overtime. I actually watched a little bit of that game. But now that we're into basketball season, football season's over, baseball actually starts today with pitchers and catchers and everything like that. A lot is going on right now, but my main focus right now is trying to get more into the hockey spirit. And
Yeah.
I was actually watching the Boston Bruins go up against your Dallas Stars. That was both of our teams going at it. It was one hell of a game, Jay, where
Yeah.
the Dallas Star ended up by the third intermission. They had a 2-1 lead over Boston. Boston came back in the third to tie it up at two apiece. They went into overtime with the final seconds in overtime to go. Boston went and scored the game-winning shot, which was really surprising to me. It was a really great game. I was shocked. I was celebrating. I was happy. Um, but and yeah, I did keep my eye on that Boston Celtics game. It was insane. It was crazy. It was a good one. It's just real sad for the Celtic Nation fan base to sit there and see them go on a tight loss against the Bucks. There, it was really crazy.
The thing about it was, and again, I want to go back to that Boston Bruins. I got to be honest with you. I mean, we all know Boston's had, the best squad so far this year. I mean, their standings certainly prove that. And Dallas isn't doing too bad either. And I'm kind of glad that, I know we didn't get the win, so it is what it is. But still, at the end of the day, man, we pushed you guys to overtime. And, I felt pretty good about, how we did and where we came away from that, to the point where I feel like, we go into the playoffs. I'm feeling much better this year about this squad than I did last year about that squad. So I'm telling you, Frankie, man, we might have another battle come playoff time, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't wait for playoffs for hockey is for me is more better than throughout the regular season. I mean, I'm happy and I'm excited for what Boston is doing right now, being the first team to get to 40 wins and only have 8 losses on their column. It's really surprising and makes me happy right now this year, especially on the first full year where I'm getting into hockey. We all picked our teams by the end of last year to get ready for this year, and it's amazing for me right now, and as a first year hockey fan. I'm really excited. But Jay, I want to get into some real news, man. Real breaking news that happened yesterday. I understand you guys aren't on the script that I watched. I wasn't able to hop on for those of you watching, but I did watch. Obviously, I'm always unscripted blood, always running through my veins. Um, you guys did talk about it, and I want to talk about it here. Derek Carr, former quarterback from the Raiders, had been released from his contract, saving up about $29.95 million in cap space for the Raiders, giving them a total of almost $50 million to spread around to try and do something through free agency, even through draft. Where does this end up for Derek Carr? We know that he's obviously the top target candidate for quarterbacks this offseason. I did put out on Facebook that my main targets for him to look at will be the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints, and even the Giants, maybe, because who knows what the Giants are going to do with Daniel Jones. And if the Giants do sign Daniel Jones, there can be a possibility where Derek Carr might even end up with the Commanders. No, don't be surprised there. I mean, the Commanders have a better weapon, wide receiver corps than the Giants do, and I think the Washington Commanders can do something. Defensively, they're not ready, but offensively, I think they can make a splash. It's just the quarterback situation with the Washington Commanders. But Jay, I want to get your thoughts, brother. Who do you think is going to be a top potential landing spot for Derek Carr?
Yeah, man. Hey, old Brady retired, and there's an opening over in Tampa, and that's kind of what I'm looking at, man. Godwin, Evans, Jones, Fournette in the backfield. I mean, that's a formidable guy. Now they do got to do some work on the offensive line and some work on the defense, but in terms of weaponry, yeah, man, I'm really digging the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. And they're going to look for somebody because if they don't, what are they going to do? Roll into the season with Kyle Trask? That ain't going to happen. Now maybe they look at the the draft, or maybe try to potentially grab somebody, but I think Derek Carr would fit in perfectly, and I would not be surprised if he has conversations at some point with the guys over there and Bruce Arians and company.
Well, we know that he's been talking a lot with the Saints. He had multiple meetings with the Saints. He even went to the Raiders front office and told them, "Listen, I don't want to be traded there," because he had a no trade clause policy, and he knew what that was going to mean for the Las Vegas Raiders. So he went and he said, I don't want to get traded to the Saints." We know he's been real high up on the Saints, go-to guy. I do expect the Saints to make an offer on him. They do have the money to give Derek Carr, but does Derek Carr want to go in that situation with the Saints? I don't think so, because yes, you got Michael Thomas, but let's be realistic. The man hasn't played a full season of football in about 3, maybe even 4 years. That's a lot. That's a long time since the last time I've seen Michael Thomas in a Saints jersey on the field. So I don't know if Derek Carr wants to go that route. I can see him going to Tampa Bay. You're right. That's a good landing spot for him. It could be a good landing spot. But like you said, if they want to, skip out on Derek Carr and look up to the free agency, I think, they have a really low draft pick in I'm sorry, I said free agency in the draft. They have a really low draft pick in this year's draft, making it to the playoffs and stuff like that. I don't think they will get a quarterback that low in the draft. The only way they will be able to do that is probably trading away one of their big weapons in offense, a Mike Evans or a Chris Godwin or something like that, to potentially go higher up in the draft category to try and get a quarterback. But I don't think Bruce Arians is that guy to do something like that. I think he does make a splash in trying to get Derek Carr. That's just the question, though. Does Derek Carr want to go to Tampa Bay? Does he want to play under Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians? We don't know. This right here is where the football gets real interesting. You got Derek Carr in the free agency. You got Jimmy Garoppolo hitting free agency as well. A lot of quarterbacks that are going to hit free agency, and we don't know where they're going to go. And we know that once the team is named, where these candidates end up, it's going to be a shock to us all. And I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Carr goes somewhere that nobody's even mentioning. I talked to Jay Ness the other day, and he said that he wouldn't be surprised if Derek Carr signs a 1-year deal to Arizona. I don't think he would do that.
Hell
Derek Carr
no.
knows
He
his
ain't going to damn
potential.
Arizona.
Yeah. No, he's not going
I
to.
don't know
Derek
what he's
Carr knows his
talking, but
potential.
he ain't going to Arizona.
He's not going to sign a 1-year contract.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And number one, they're talking about getting rid of Hopkins and stuff like that. I mean, if you're getting rid of people, if you're getting rid of assets, why would Carr even want to think about signing there? He's got connections up in New York. You know that Todd Downing was his offensive coordinator for a while over there with the Raiders. So if he goes anywhere like that, it's going to be to the Jets or, like you said, possibly the Commanders. Maybe over there, but or Tampa. I mean, or even the Panthers. I think those are the 4 legitimate spots that have weaponry or have something to offer him. I don't think that Arizona has anything worth a damn to honestly offer him. Number one. Number two is I feel like when you look at the trade and things of that nature, I don't think anybody's going to trade for him. Why would they need? I mean, why would Tampa want to trade unless Tampa felt like they wanted to go in a new direction? They could still bring in Carr, right? And then they could still trade up if they felt like Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud was the right guy. They could certainly give enough draft picks up in future drafts to the Raiders and say, look, we want to, try to snag this guy at number 1 or number 3 or what have you. And they could pull that off. I don't think that anything's going to happen. I will say this, though. When it comes to Carr, I do believe he either winds up in Tampa or possibly even New York. I think those are probably the 2 most likely spots for him.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree. I'm trying to do something real quick. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. Jay, baseball season, man, we start today, man. I mean, it's not fully official, but we got players in our preseason field right now getting ready. You know, we got pitchers and catchers today. How do you feel about your Houston Astros going into this year as defending champions, looking to defend those titles this year in a new, basically in a new league? You know, we have they showed the new first base sizable 18 by 18s. They're a little bit bigger. Hopefully, they're a little bit more safer. Um, Not only that, you know, we got new rules with the infielders can't go towards the outfield anymore and stuff like that. How do you feel about your Astros this year? I know I feel a little weird asking you because me and you go back at it between Yankees and Astros, but I need to get your thought on it, Jay.
No,
You're
no,
the
I got
defending
you.
champions. I need to.
Here's the deal with that. Alex Cora, speaking of the bases, Alex Cora came out and said that the damn bases, now that they went to 18 inches vice 15 inches, he said they look like pizza boxes out there. So that just kind of gives you an idea how big these bases are. Supposedly, Major League Baseball said that they want the bases to be that big because it's supposed to improve player safety in terms of not getting run up on when they're trying to make when the guy is sliding. Now they can make the safer throw to first or second, whatever the case may be. So and so I do get the bigger bases for that reason. Some people are saying, well, the bases are going to make it easier to still do. Come on, man, what's 4 inches? Unless you're in bed with a woman, what's 4 inches? I mean, seriously. I mean, that's not going to really make a huge quote unquote improvement on stealing bases. I think it was I think the highest one was like 61 stolen bases last year. I think the Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken, had that record. The average average team steals maybe 5 to 10 times, maybe a season or maybe every few months. So I don't think it's going to drastically improve this base stealing thing. So people need to get that narrative out of their mind. Secondly, I like how now you only get 2 times to try to pick a guy off. If you go for a third time and you don't pick him off, it becomes a balk, and the guy gets automatic advancement over to second. So I like how Major League Baseball is making these rule changes that are going to speed up the game. Again, now you take away the shift. Now you're going to see a lot more base hits. I think instead of going for the long ball, not that they're not still going to go for the long ball, but I think now you're going to see a lot more contact hitting and things like that. Just to get on base. So I think you're going to see a lot more action in baseball, honestly, rather than just seeing the strikeout or the home run, right? So there's a lot of good things coming up. The pitch clock, obviously, is going to speed up the process. So I tell you, Frankie, man, how do I think the Astros are going to do? The Astros have lived and died on the shift. I think the Astros were the ones that really kind of came up and invented the shift at one point. I mean, we're using it more than anybody else. So how do I think? I think for guys like Kyle Tucker, I think they're going to get a lot more base hits. I think their average is going to go up now that they did away with the shift and things of that nature. I think guys like Yuli Gurriel are going to, Jeremy Pena, things like that. I think their on-base percentage is going to go up, things like that. So in terms of Astros pitching, geez Louise, man, we just got Javier in a 5-year, I think $60 million some odd deal. I mean, peanuts for a guy, quite honestly, that threw 2 shutouts or was a part of 2 shutouts against your New York Yankees. So if I get this guy for 5 years at $60 million, that's very, very cap friendly. I can put money in other places. Hopefully, maybe next year we go for another big signing, whatever the case may be. But I like the fact that we got our starting rotation. Everybody's there. We got Brantley back under contract. Hopefully, he's a great contact hitter. So hopefully, going with the shift, Brantley will actually be able to contribute more than what he did last year, which was more of a, just a clubhouse facilitator and motivator. Because honestly, I think if it wasn't for Michael Brantley last year, I don't think we're talking Astros World Series. I think he got that team back on track against the Phillies in I believe it was game 4 in Philadelphia. He got them back on track, and the Astros went on to win the World Series. So Brantley is a very important cognitive part of that Astros baseball team. And so how does it look for the Astros? I think it's going to be like every other Major League Baseball team. I think you guys are going to go through it. Everybody's going to go through that learning experience. This year is going to be very, very intriguing because everybody's going to have to get used to this new set of rules. Everybody's going to see a different style of baseball. Now you're going to see more contact hitting. So defensively, there could be some issues there, or learning curve. I should say learning curve. So I think this year is going to be a learning curve year, and we'll see who comes out on top. I think the Astros are going to struggle a little bit because, again, they lived and died on that shift. And so now that shift isn't there anymore, they're going to have to find different ways now to to keep that defensive presence out there for these guys. So I think I think it's going to be a growing pains year, but I still have my boys on top, man. I think we're going to get it done.
Yeah, I could say the same about the Yankees. I mean, I expect a lot more changes, especially with some new addition to the team. Like I said, today's pitchers and catchers reporting. So hopefully the Yankees can go and see who they want to add into their bullpen situation, because obviously we didn't get no big name bullpen arms, but we did sign a lot of people into the minor leagues, for this reason, for today, to see who we want to call on up to be our relievers and stuff. We already know who our starting rotations are, starting from Garrett Cole and ending to Frankie Montas, who was actually had successful surgery today as well on his rotator cuff. He's expected to be out for the first month of baseball season. So, I'm not really worried on there. I'm not really big Frankie Montas fan after, how he came in and played for the Yankees after the trade deadline last year. But I don't know who our number 5 is going to be. It's probably going to be Domingo Germán until Frankie Montas comes back. I think that'll be the obvious choice. Just to,
But how do you
Domingo
feel
Germán was
about
also
having Germán, Frankie? How do you feel, given last year how Germán did? How confident are you in him at that number 5 spot? Number 1, number 2, your boy Cortez over there. Thank God it is. You're right. Yeah, I know when he had that post on there. Thankfully, it happened preseason versus seasonal. But is that hamstring of his going to be an issue going forward as well? And how is that going to affect your rotation?
No, I don't think his hamstring is going to affect him really well. Like I said, I showed it to you. I showed it to everybody else. It was like a little minor tweak that he did on his hamstring. He's missing the Baseball World Classic, so that's good. He could just sit out. You know as well as I know that our starting pitchers don't need to pitch for preseason. That's basically for our bullpens to come in, try and go a good length of innings to see how well they do, and see if, like I said, see if they get called up and everything like that. So Nestor Cortez, sitting out for this preseason, I think is going to be a smart choice, because he is our number 3 guy in that rotation. So I think it's not going to affect him really well. The Domingo Germán situation, it's really not a big problem with me. He did have a long length of injury time to come back, and when he did come back, he came back against the red hot Astros and that doubleheader. And he didn't play well, obviously, but I don't put the blame on him. Like I said, he was out for a really long time, Jay. Basically a year and a half, he was out on injury. So he had to come back and get into the feeling mode of playing in the major leagues again. So he progressed throughout the year, went on, and when we got Frankie Montas, it was an obvious choice that we'll put Domingo Germán in the rotation part of our bullpen, which is fine with me, because, like I said, you putting a guy like Domingo Germán in the bullpen, that's basically putting a starter, like what the Astros would do. That's basically putting a starter in your bullpen, someone who can give you a good 6 or 6-1 in innings. So if you take your starter out by, say, the 6th inning or 7th inning, depending on how well they're pitching and how well they're looking, that's when you can bring Domingo Germán in and pitch maybe two extra innings to where you're going to want to bring in your closer if you have the lead. So I feel confident, in Domingo Germán coming back, actually being able to play at the start of a season. It's been a long time since he was able to actually start baseball in April. So I feel like this is a real go-getter for Domingo Germán. And I would, and I wouldn't be even surprised if the Yankees do some dumb shit, excuse my language, and go ahead and trade away Domingo Germán by the trade deadline to try and get something valuable for him. That's only if he shows out this year for the Yankees. But he's another starter that's going to be in the bullpen, and with Frankie Montas being out for the month, that just that's an obvious no brainer to just bring in Domingo Germán as the number 5 pitcher. I feel real confident in that, and it's totally fine. My big concern right now with the Astros, or with the Astros, sorry, with the Yankees, is their bullpen. You know, that's the one big major deal. We lost a lot of great arms through free agency through that bullpen. So I will be paying attention really highly on today's pitcher and catcher meeting for the Yankees to see what's going on, how well these pitchers are doing, and especially the bullpen and I can't wait for preseason to start. I do have the first two games here. It starts on the 24th of February. The first game is the Texas Rangers versus the Kansas City Royals. That's going to be at 3:05, and then followed by 10 minutes later at 3:10 on the same day, you got the Seattle Mariners going up against the San Diego Padres. That's your first games of this
Wow.
preseason on the 24th. So
Wow.
that's right around the corner. I'm really
Yeah,
excited.
it
I
is.
can't wait. But
Question.
man, baseball season's here, Jay.
I got a question. I got a couple questions for you. I just want to get your thoughts on it now. So you got, like I said, you got Cortez. Uh, like you said, on the IR right now, nursing that hamstring back to health. If he does not get at least one or two preseason games under his belt, do you think that's going to affect how he starts the season? Because I firmly believe you need to have at least a few games in under your belt just to kind of settle yourself down, get reacclimated, and then you go into the season. I do think he's going to starting cold, not really having faced any competition coming off that leg injury.
I think he'll be fine. If anything, I think he will come in and at least play probably like the final preseason game just for a couple of innings and see how he does. It's not like a big injury where where he can't come in and play. Um, but like I said, I think to me preseason wouldn't be for starters. He'll come in at the end of the season, especially end of the preseason, especially going into regular season. He's our third pitcher, so he's only sitting out the first two games of the season. So you got an extra length there of rest time for him as well with that hamstring. I think he'll be fine. He's not on the IR, Jay. He's not fully injured, so there's no point in putting him in the IR. They're just not having him go to the World Classics, just because they don't want him to stress that thing out anymore to where a potential tear happens and then he's out for a long term.
Well,
So they're just
absolutely.
gonna let him rest. And like I said, it does what you said does make perfect sense. Having somebody come in, and play two, maybe one game of preseason just to get that competitive spirit into his body to get ready for regular season. I
Yeah,
think
well,
he'll probably
yeah,
come in
you
towards
don't
like
want
the
to start
end.
cold. I feel like you want to start warm, like you want that body and that condition and that mindset to already be in that mode going into the season, rather than coming into the season cold, not having faced nobody for a hot minute, and then trying to find, because it's all about rhythm, Frankie. I really believe in baseball. It's all about momentum and rhythm. And I think you get your rhythm in spring training and you carry it forward into that first game or that first week, of competition. And that's just kind of where I kind of worry about that. But again, these guys are professionals. So, we'll see how that works out for them. My second question is, we were talking about Germán. If he comes out and he's red hot, ready to go, then you're looking good. My question is, if you decide that he's not the right thing and you try to trade him, I wonder, number one, what would you get? Number two, if you didn't try to trade him, but you try to put him in the bullpen, will that mess with his confidence level, and will that affect his pitching coming off the bench rather than starting?
Um, I don't think it'll affect his confidence level. I think it'll make him more be aware of, okay, well, I know I'm capable of being a starting pitcher. If they're gonna put me in the bullpen, then when it's my turn to come out, let me show them what I got. And if they want to keep keeping me in the bullpen, I'm gonna just keep showing them out. I think he'll be more competitive that way. But if we were to trade Domingo Germán, depending on how he plays, like I said, Frankie Montas being out for the first month of baseball, that's where you're putting him at your number five slot. So you basically, if I'm Domingo Herman, I'm gonna show out those games that I am able to play for that first month. Um, and if the Yankees are smart enough, if they like what they see in Domingo Herman, if it was me, I will go ahead and switch it and put Frankie Montas in the bullpen because I wouldn't want to bring him back a month after having his shoulder rotator cuff surgery and thinking that he's gonna come out and throw bombs for you. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna take the time for Frankie Montas to get into the rhythm of where he wants to be. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm putting Frankie Montas in the bullpen just because you're not fully like confident that this man is going to come out and pitch the way he did before. You know what I'm trying to say, Jay?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, that would be
Absolutely.
the smarter choice for the Yankees to do with Frankie Montas, especially if, like I said, especially if Domingo Herman is going to come out that first month and just show out. Like, what if he ends up at the end of April with like a ERA of a 2 point something? You know, like Frankie Montas giving you an ERA of 5, maybe 6 from last year. That just shows out that Domingo Herman worked his ass off throughout the offseason and preseason to get this spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the key acquisition for you uh, over the winter break was that of Carlos Rodon. I think that guy is going to help out that rotation quite well. And I know you pointed it out a couple of times where he has done a great job shutting down the Astros. So that will be somebody that we're going to have to deal with. I would say the only weakness on that team of yours is, like you already pointed out, is the bullpen, and that's kind of where the Astros tend to lean. Is if we get to the bullpen and the game is manageable or ahead, 9 times out of 10, Astros are going to capitalize on that. I think we saw that last year. That was kind of the strategy last year. But I'm going to say, man, with this new shift of the defense, that's going to be huge. I think that's going to be huge for a lot of teams going against the Astros. Is now that shift isn't there anymore, they should be able to possibly capitalize off that. And the one area I think is going to be the worst is going to be where Carlos Alvarez is over there in left field. I think Alvarez is going to have the hardest time because he's not the quickest at bat, right? He's a bigger guy. So I think that's where Brantley – what I'm hoping happens is they have Brantley play left field, put Alvarez back at the DH, because I think that's going to be a detriment to the Astros on that left field side. It's not so much a detriment when they're at home because they got the short porch that comes off in left field, so that's not going to be an issue. But when they go to other ballparks that don't have that short porch, I think that's where they're going to have to really do some finagling and probably utilize Brantley more in left field and Alvarez at the DH.
Yeah, I agree. Michael Brantley did sign a 1-year contract to return to the Astros, and we do know how much injury prone he can be. Do you feel confident that he might last a full season with you guys, or do you think he'll get injured at some point this year?
Man, let's watch this. I'm not
trying to.
No. You're good. You're good. No. That's a valid question. It's a valid question. I think I got a pretty good answer that both of us can relate to. Hell yeah, I'm worried. Just like you're worried. Hey, just like you're worried about Stanton and all those guys staying off the injury list too. I mean, both of us kind of have that same issue. I got that issue with Brantley, and you got that issue sometimes with Judge and Stanton, where they just get on that injury list, and. At that point, all you can do is hope and pray that they stay healthy and that they take care of their bodies as they go through the season. I mean, that's all you can really do. And hopefully they give them a few days of rest here and there, on days that they have back-to-backs, they give them a day off or whatever, let them, recalibrate their bodies. But, man, Frankie, you know how it is, man. Hey, look, dealing with them injuries out there in New York like you've done, hey, you know how it is, man. Every year, all you can do is hope and pray they stay healthy, brother.
Trust me, I know. I'm over here praying and hoping that Giancarlo Stanton can go a full year without hurting something in his leg or his knee. His old bones is not keeping up with him anymore. And also, the main thing that's worrying me also this year is DJ LeMahieu. I really like DJ LeMahieu. He's coming off of a really bad toe injury where he started off as turf toe, and then he got pushed to continue to play, and it got worse as the days progressed. But he's coming back, and he's being told or I'm being told from other people that he's looking pretty good through this off season, and he's 100% healthy. Even he said he's healthy. But let's be realistic here. You can go ahead and say you're healthy all you want. that's not gonna, help you anything. You can literally have one bad tweak and hurt yourself again. So that's the one thing that's scaring me as well this year and making me nervous is can DJ LeMahieu stay healthy because he's a big asset to the Yankees, especially in the hitting part. And I can tell last year he wasn't himself when he wasn't playing the way he plays baseball. Um, yeah, man, it's going to be a really good year in baseball. I can't wait. We all know that we're going to gang up on our boy Logan Landers because he's an
Yeah,
Atlanta
we
Braves
are.
fan and
Yeah,
we
we
all hate the
are.
Braves. we got a lot of people we gang up on. Chicago
Hey,
Cubs.
hey, you know what we're gonna do,
You.
Frank? Hey, we're gonna gang up on Logan, but we're gonna give consolidations over to Chris because we gotta console Chris. He's got a rough time right now with the Reds, so we gotta give him some love.
Yeah, we got to get him. We got to get him involved to make him feel like your team is still in baseball, Chris. You're not gonna be left out, bro. You can be 1-30 in the season. We're still gonna make fun of you. We're coming for you still, Chris.
Hey, because we
But
hate to see Chris so depressed on his 1A team, this is going to be a one-time offer where we will allow him to have a 1B team. We don't always give that out, but I don't see the Reds anytime soon ever coming back to fruition. So I think that we got to give him an olive branch, give him a 1B team just for 1 year. Give that boy some life, give him some hope. Let his dreams come true.
I'm down with that. I'm down with that, Chris. If you want a 1B team, you could go ahead and get a 1B team. We're not gonna make fun of you if you have a
But this is
1B
only a
team.
1
We
year. This is
understand
only
your
a one-time
situation.
offer. You can't just keep
Yeah,
the 1B team. You get 1 year to have to enjoy some sunsets, but then you got to go back to the Reds. I'm sorry, you just got to go back. Frankie,
Chris. If I'm
did
you, I just
Chris?
want Chris to know real quickly if he wants a 1B team. There's openings for Yankee fan base. We have applications out. We totally accept all kinds. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, anything. We accept all kinds of people, and we always have openings for future Yankee fans. So if you want to be a Yankee fan as your 1B team, I totally accept it. Jay might not accept it, but I will totally accept
Well,
it.
I mean, he doesn't want to be a loser. He wants to go to a winner, so he probably wants to be an Astros fan. And if so, man, I'll get the application out to you. Well, I got lied. We got a pretty steep list, but I think I could put a good word in for you, and I can get you onto that. So if that's something you want to consider, we can certainly talk. The Yankees, they'll take anybody. We vet our people a little bit better than that, so we'll see. Frankie,
Well, I don't think Chris wants to get.
I'm not taking shots at Frankie. Frankie, listen. Me and you both missed a very important anniversary day a couple of days ago. We both missed it. I don't know if you caught it, but we missed it. And it is baseball related, by the way. We missed? We missed the anniversary of the Negro Leagues, February 13th. We missed that date. It was February 13th was the first pitch of Negro League baseball, and we missed that anniversary. So
I shared that.
everybody here, we want to say congratulations to the Negro Leagues on your anniversary.
I shared that post, Jay.
Did you? Okay,
Yeah,
never
I
mind.
shared that throughout the chat rooms.
Damn it. Okay, well then never mind. I stand corrected.
Frankie, how you
Oh,
feel?
that's a
One of
good
your
one,
starters
Anthony
might
Price.
get out
That's a
this
good
year.
one.
Well, it depends. Like who's he talking about? Are you talking about
I
Frankie
think
Montas?
I think
Because
I
he's the
think
only
he's.
starter that's.
I wonder if he's inferring to Cortez. I wonder if he thinks that he's out for the. Honestly, I don't know who's out for the year for the Yankees. I wasn't tracking anybody out for the year for the Yankees.
Yeah, nobody's out for the. I mean, he's probably talking about like I know Scott Efros is out for the year. He had Tommy John surgery. Chad Green, I don't know. I don't think we even have him in our. No, we don't
I don't
have
think
Chad Green
Chad
in our
Green's going to be
rotation
back this
anymore.
year. Didn't he undergo Tommy John as well?
He went under Tommy John as well, yeah, but I don't even think we have him on our roster. We don't even have Zach Britton. I know Michael King
I
is
don't think you
probably
would.
going to return this year. I know Michael King is going to probably return this year, but the only pitcher I know that's fully out right now is Frankie Montas, and he's only out on a rotator cuff for a month, and had, like I said, he had successful surgery earlier this week. So I think, I'm not a real AP. I'm not, Montas. Montas could miss the season. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be real with you right now, AP, and I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I will not be mad if Frankie Montas is out for the season, to be honest with you. I will not be mad. I'm not, Jay even knows it. I'm not a huge Frankie Montas fan. For
Yeah.
one, the asshole comes in on a bad ERA from Oakland, right? And we get rid of
Well, you were
Jordan
kind of
Montgomery.
excited at the beginday. At the beginning, when they got Montas, you
No,
were a little excited. But then after he started pitching for you,
no,
that
I wasn't.
excitement went away.
Jay, I wasn't excited. You know why? Because the first thing I said was, great, we got a guy who's got my name and he's going to take my name.
That's true. Oh, man. When they called him Frankie the Yankee, I thought you were going to just die. There can only be one Frankie the Yankee, man.
Exactly. There's only one. I've been riding with that name since the early times before I even became a podcaster. I've had that name. It was a good time where I worked at a gas station a couple of years ago, about I'd say 2014, the year 2014. And I had this customer, Jay. He's a diehard Boston fan, Boston Red Sox, everything, right? And this is like the first fan that's a Boston Red Sox fan that I honestly can truly say right now, if he's still alive, because he was an old guy. I don't know if he's still alive today, but I can honestly say, like, I respect this man for being a Red Sox fan, for all the shit that he has dealt with and things like that. And he comes in and it's just like it's like a respectable thing, He comes in and he's just like, the first thing he says to me is, Frankie the Yankee, and that just clicked on with me from then on. And I'm like, wow, I really like that. I respect that. You come in and you put my team with my name. I really respect that. And then, it just kept it with me. And then his name was Phil. I remember now. His name was Phil because when he came up with the name Frankie the Yankee, I came up with the name Fenway Phil. So, like, we had a little thing go back and forth, and I respect this man because when the Red Sox won the pennant 1 year and also won the World Series, he won a lot of money, and he gave me some of that money that he won, and he didn't have to do that because I'm a Yankee fan, and I respect a Boston Red Sox fan giving me money for his team winning, and him telling me, this is for you. It kind of made me feel like, damn, you trying to make me feel bad or something? Like, you're a winner and shit now, so you trying to come and give me the loser some money? But I respect Fenway Phil. I hope he's still alive, man. If not, Phil, I understand you're an old man. But I respect you. Rest in peace if you pass on to the next
Well, we
life.
hope he's still alive.
I do hope he's still alive because he was a really great guy. But other than that, I wouldn't care, AP, if Montas was out for the year. I'm not a real big fan of Frankie Montas. Like I told Jay a little while ago, I would rather have Domingo Germán in our number 5 position and have Frankie Montas as our bullpen guy, rather than having Frankie Montas as our number 5.
Hey, so Logan put in the group chat, and God, it makes me sad. I don't know how he's going to do it, but so apparently the windup that Framber Valdez uses, not Framber Valdez, Luis Garcia, apologize. The windup that Luis Garcia, where he rocks the baby and kind of takes those steps. Now, under new Major League Baseball rules, if he does that type of windup, they're going to consider it a balk. So he's going to have to develop a new
because of the
windup.
Time. It's because of the time, the time difference on the mound now. You have to be quicker with throwing the pitches now. That's also a new rule change as well. They changed the time mounds for pitchers. So him doing that takes about.
According to this, it says windups such as Luis Garcia's are now illegal under Major League Baseball's new balk rules. I think it has the way that he takes steps, because I think he does kind of take one step forward and then one step back, and then it's the way it works. It looks like he's coming off the mound, but then he rocks back, and I think that's what they're. I think that's what they're
because
hit on.
It sucks for me as well because Nestor Cortez, he's been doing that all last year. He's coming out with new moves where he rocks a leg in the front, goes back, and then he comes out and he does his little side pitch. So it kind of sucks for me as well. But I understand what they're seeing with Luis Garcia. he does when he does that rock the baby. It does take a
The
while.
way Luis does it,
for him to do that.
it's a very erratical movement. Like it looks like he's dancing before he even throws the ball. It's just crazy. It's like he's doing the Latin tango, and then all of a sudden the ball comes towards home plate, and I'm like, what?
Yeah,
and
it confuses batters, honestly.
The viewers or to distract the batter.
Yeah, no, he does because you don't know when he's gonna release the ball. Like you said, he does a little dance move where it takes him about 4 times to like swing his leg back and forth to finally come out and throw a pitch. So the batter doesn't know when he's gonna release that ball. So I understand why the baseball, is doing that, and I'm actually glad. I'm glad. As a Yankee fan, the hell with your pitcher. Ban that, so that way you can get some more balks for the Yankees to get on base.
Well, I don't think we're going to see that move this year, though. I think and I really hope that he's using this time in the offseason and he's using this time in preseason to really, get that delivery down where he doesn't have to do that. I call it rocking the baby Latin tango thing. Hopefully he gets that squared away because we need to be ready to go. But yeah, it's really crazy how he pitches. It's weird, but hey, it worked for him. I ain't gonna lie.
I wonder, Jay. Because I don't know where the Astros preseason baseball field is. I know it's somewhere in Houston, obviously, but
no. What do you mean? Where they're? Are you talking about where they
like where?
You talking about spring training or off season?
Yeah, spring training. Like where do you guys practice?
Yeah, Kissimmee. Like no, they go to Kissimmee, Florida.
Oh, okay. So basically, we all go to Florida because we're in Tampa, right? Literally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're all part. I think it's the. Is it the Grapefruit League or the Cactus League? I think it's the Cactus. No, I think we're the Grapefruit League. Cactus League is out there around the Arizona, obviously. So, yeah, we're all part of the same league, though. Yankees, Astros, we're all in the same Grapefruit League.
Okay, so yeah, I think I don't know if I didn't get the news and you didn't get the news. I wonder if they had some actual high up baseball officials there during the pitchers and catchers session and probably looked at Luis Garcia when he was pitching some balls today and said, listen, this is taking up some time. We can't have this happen in regular season. This is going to have to change. Actually, if you continue to do this, it's going to consider a bulk.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody had to say something for him. So some high up officials is there for that reason. And I'm actually, you know what, Jay? I'm happy for this. Honestly, I mean, I'm tired of Luis Garcia doing as a person who has played baseball games. And I actually, for one of my baseball games, I did have Luis Garcia and one of my rotations, and I had to release him just for other reasons. I had a better pitcher offer on the table through a trade, and somebody grabbed Luis Garcia, but I had a better pitcher. But when I had Luis Garcia, he did the baby cradle swallow thing.
Yeah.
And it actually took so much time. It upsetted me. I'm like, bro, just release the goddamn ball already. Like, I'm not trying to wait 30 minutes.
But see, that's the beauty of it, though, Frankie. But that's the beauty of it because number one, it takes so long, and number two, it's an eye distraction. I think it really does play a part in the outs that he gets because the batters are so antsy, they're ready to go, and by the time it gets there, I think their timing and everything is just completely disrupted by it. So I think it works for him, but unfortunately, Major League Baseball is saying, nope, we're going to call it a balk. You can't use it anymore. And so now he's going to have to figure something else out. I don't know what he's going to do.
I wonder how this affects, and like I know you already said this, but I wonder how this is going to affect his pitching quarterly come regular season. Like, is this gonna give his ERA higher up rather than how it was last year? Is he gonna give up more hits this year?
Man, I hope not.
With a different pitch that he has to. You never know, Jay. You never know. Sometimes it happens. It happens.
Well,
he said, Frankie, there's spring training.
Think about it though. But everybody in baseball. When you're in baseball, everything is a routine, right? All of baseball, it's routine and it's superstition, right? Superstition and routine is built thoroughly into baseball. So when you would disrupt a guy's pitching routine, there's going to be some adverse effect to that. And I just hope that he can get that adverse effect and he can retrain the body to a new routine that baseball will accept. And I think hopefully spring training will prove that. whatever he's going to do now is working before we get into the regular season. I guess we're going to find out one way or the other, right, bro?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Too bad. He'll by the time we face each other, he's probably gonna feel comfortable because we don't play each other until July. So that it sucks.
Oh, it is July when we play each other. What
Yeah,
is
we
up
play
with
each other
that
in July. It
summertime?
sucks
They always have us in July
because that's
like,
a good time.
sooner.
It's basically like what if you guys have a great record, we have a great record, we play each other before the trade deadline, then we play each other after the trade deadline. It's kind of like a playoff scenario or division scenario when we face each other late into the season that time around.
Man, either way, it's going to be interesting. I really like the Astros division that we're in now. The Mariners have really improved their squad. The Angels, they kind of improved a little bit, and then the A's just suck ass, but they always suck ass. But I think our division is going to be a little bit stronger this year than it was last year. So I'm glad to see the division getting a little bit stronger than what we were playing last year. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that will pay dividends. Because I want to play the stronger teams. You want to play the stronger teams. That's how you get ready for the playoffs. You don't get ready for the playoffs if you're playing weaker teams. You know what I'm saying? It looks good on your record, but it does nothing for your team because they haven't seen the tougher teams, which they're going to see in the playoff. Like I want my team to go up against whoever I see in the playoffs. That way, we have familiarity a little bit, right?
Yeah, and that's why when me and you go at it in regular season, we get all excited because it's kind of like a playoff scenario. Like we're gonna see each other again. Last year when the Astros, they beat us 4 or 5 games, that put to my mind right there, like, okay, if we see them in the postseason, it's not gonna be it's not gonna be really good because of how the Yankees played towards the Astros in the regular season. But if it's equal out, to where the series between us in regular season, one will have one more win than the other, that kind of like equals the balance out right there. Like, okay, if we go up against the Astros, or you say, okay, we go up against the Yankees at this time in the postseason, we have one more win than them, or I say we have one more win than them. It kind of puts to a scenario like, okay, we might get a 7-game series out of this come playoff time. Compared to last year where you guys did win 4 or 5 games against us compared to our 2 that we won against you. That put right there in the mindset of your mindset that we're easy. It will be an easy team for you guys to beat come postseason, and it happened. We got swept by you guys, and I can't be mad about it. Only reason I'm mad is because we got swept. If we would have lost that series 4-1, I would have been fine with it. But the reason why I'm more mad about it is because we got swept, and you don't want to see your team get swept in the playoffs, especially when where you're 1 game away from the World Series. So I'm hoping this year we're gonna have a good matchup with the Yankees and Astros, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to steer the attention away from baseball, but I just seen earlier where Fangio now is going to be the defensive coordinator for Miami. Did you catch that?
Yeah, it just came up.
I thought that was going to be interesting. How do you see that working out in Miami? Because I got to be honest, I like the move for Miami. I'm not a Miami fan, but if I was a Miami fan, I like that move. I think Fangio is really, really good on that defensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? I think the only real question this year is still going to be like it was last year. Can Tua stay healthy? Clearly the man's concussed all to hell, and now he's coming back, this season. So hopefully that will be remedied. But Frank, like I know, man, anytime you get a concussion, that you're more likely to get another one. I mean, it just your brain is just how your brain is. But what do you see for this Miami team going into next year and how they look?
I really hope they look bad. We know what Fangio. We know how Fangio was as a head coach. And we know the difference between being a head coach and being a coordinator and stuff like that. But I don't. I really hope. I really hope that Miami lose a lot of their top tier defensive players. I really hope that
Right.
Tua Tagovailoa, and I hope that Tua Tagovailoa ends up getting another concussion. And that's just me
Oh, that's
being
wrong,
a
Frankie. You
Patriots
can't
fan.
don't say that, man. That's wrong.
No,
Come on,
no, I'm
Frankie.
gonna say it. No, I'm gonna say I'm a Patriot fan, Jay. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
whatever way makes the Patriots get higher and better into the division, I'll take it in any possible way.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I see Tony Gonzalez has joined us this morning, man. Tony, make sure Gonzo is resting. If that boy even tries to get up out of bed, you just body slam him WWE style back in there, okay? But don't tear the stitches, Tony. Body slam him back in, but don't tear the stitches, okay? We don't want any stitches being torn. God, I would love to do a
Sexy
DDT.
Poppy Tony, what's going on, Tony?
Man, if I was there, I would totally
Tony,
DDT Gonzo.
Hey, yo, Tony, get your sexy ass in this lobby. Take over for Chris.
hey, he needs to,
but
man.
we do, Pops, we do wish Chris a speedy recovery, and we hope that he gets well. But like Jay said, if me and Jay were there, we're fucking him up. Excuse my language.
Yeah,
we're kicking his ass.
him. Hey, we're suplexing. We're jumping off the dresser, landing on the bed. I mean, hey, we're going DDT. If I can find a kitchen chair, I'm gonna bring the kitchen chair in there. Okay. Hey, but I don't mess with Gonzo, man. I know Gonzo can take some slaps. I see him take them slaps in that ring day, so he's pretty tough. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, hey, and if he don't eat them vegetables, you let us know. We'll come over there and we'll force feed him, okay? I'm very good at force feeding.
Okay, Jay. Coming out of here sounding like Hulk Hogan. He better eat those vegetables, brother.
Hey, we're coming in hot. We're coming in heavy, baby. He said this is not an elimination chamber. It's a house chamber.
We are excited though, Pops, for Chris to come back on Saturday and do the watch along with us for Elimination Chamber. I can't wait to see that face of his. It's not the same being on the afternoon Blitz without Chris Gonzo, who I like to say, because Mr. Chris likes to have a lot of surgeries, I call him Cripple Chris Gonzo. But I don't know if that's too soon. I don't know if that was too soon.
You call him Cripple Chris. I call him Stank Leg. He does that stank leg walking around the house like Kelsey did the end zone. He said, "Hey, Pops, you got my food? You got my drink? Don't make me give you the stank leg."
A quick basketball score update from yesterday's games. The Raptors defeated the Orlando Magic 123-113. The Bucks beat the Celtics in overtime 131-125. The Phoenix Suns ended up beating the Sacramento Kings 120-109. The Clippers beat the Warriors 134-124. And the Wizards beat the Trailblazers 126-101. You know what pisses me off, Jay? Is that the Wizards can beat the Portland Trailblazers, but the goddamn Lakers can't do it. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, LA? Are you LA is pissing me off so much. I'm secretly about to come to the East Coast. That's how mad I'm getting with the Lakers.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me you're going to trade your purple and gold for the green?
Oh, hell no.
I'm just asking the question. You said you're going to bring yourself east. I was just asking, where in the East are you going to go?
You don't need to know where in the East where I'm going to go. I'm probably going to, I'll trade in my purple and gold and just be strictly a Liberty fan. I don't need to like the NBA anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I believe about as much as I believe me being freaking Jamal and turning African American in the next 20 minutes. It ain't going to happen. Even though, quote unquote, I identify as African American, I'm not actually going to become a physical African American, okay? So I don't believe that.
Oh, man, what a time to be alive for Lakers fans, man. I hate it.
Well, and let me ask you
tonight's games.
Let me ask you this real quick. Denver is still on top of the West. Jamal Murray is out with the knee issue. Go figure. Reggie Jackson's coming in to replace him after that buyout from the Hornets. How do you see Denver progressing now? Are they going to drop? Are they going to stay? What are we doing with them?
I think they'll stay. If not, they'll probably drop to second seed and Memphis takes over first. But I think realistically, I think they stay just for one reason: the Joker. The Joker is unstoppable right now. He's literally dominating the league in points, in assists, and rebounds. The man is he's just insane. And even without Jamal Murray, we've seen what Joker can bring for Denver and how far he can bring them. Um, will they be the same and look more dominant with Reggie Jackson at the helm? No, I don't think so. But just because you have Joker, I think they'll be fine and where they're at. As long as Reggie Jackson don't come in and try and screw everything up and turning the ball over so much or shooting wild shots and missing all his shots. If I'm Reggie Jackson, I'm putting in my mindset, okay, I'm on this amazing team. We're in first place. The first thing you should have on your mind is I got the man, the Joker. That will be the first thing on my mind is I got the Joker. So I think I think this wouldn't change nothing for Denver. I think they still
Okay.
end up being the number one seed. Do you know how long Jamal Murray is out for?
It did not say. It didn't specify. It just said he's out with a knee injury. So I think on that one,
Okay,
it's just it didn't say anything about surgery. So I guess he's a day-to-day kind of guy. They just have him listed as out. And when I clicked on his name and tried to find out further information, I couldn't get a definitive timeline or anything like that. So I don't know how long he's going to be out for at this point in time. But my question is we kind of look at the top of the line. Let's look at the bottom, because that's really where your Lakers kind of fall in, right? And what I mean by that, not to be rude, but I'm saying they're trying to get into the play-in, and there could be some opportunities for them to do that. And what I'm thinking is Golden State is now at the number 9 spot at 29-29, and then you got below them, you got Utah at the number 10 spot. I think at 29-31, something of that nature. And then the Lakers are about 3 games out of that number 10 spot. Do you see an issue where I think that Utah slides out of the number 10? I think Portland, that's about a half a game back, slides up into the number 9 spot or the number 10 spot. Do you think the Lakers and do you think Portland could then squeeze up maybe even one more rung to the number 9 spot, squeezing out even possibly Golden State? So to make it to the point where Golden State and Utah would switch places with Portland and LA at that 9 and 10 spot. Do you think something like that could happen? Because we know Mo Bamba is still suspended and he hasn't played yet. He hasn't been able to play yet. And we know LeBron James is taking a couple of games off. So if you get those 2 pieces into the pot, I think this Lakers team could slide back up.
Well, I'm glad that you say that because Mo Bamba's suspension is up and he makes his Laker debut tonight, and I can't wait to see my boy Mo Bamba with the lumber. He's gonna go crazy today for the Lakers. I really hope so. I hope he goes insane tonight. I can't wait to see him play some basketball. We do got a good game tonight against the Pelicans, so that helps us out right there in the standings. Honestly, Jay, because the Pelicans are also they're number 7 at 30-28. Like you said, we're 26 and 32. Since we're talking about the bottom, let me start at number 7. You got the Pelicans 30-28. You got Minnesota at 8 at 31-29. Golden State as number 9 at 29-29. Utah's 29-30, followed by Portland at 28-30. OKC 27-29, and then the Lakers at 26-32. So what we need to do is beat Portland tonight, get that 27th win that we need. And I'm looking at it right now, OKC does not play today, so that ties them up. That ties them up with OKC, but OKC beat us, so we will still be in the same position that we're in. So hopefully by tomorrow, which OKC does play tomorrow, they're playing up against. Oh no, they don't play tomorrow. I apologize because tomorrow is the last game of the first half of the season. We go into All-Star break, so they don't get a game until next week, apparently. So that keeps us tight right there with OKC. Like I said, the Portland Trailblazers lost yesterday. I think they're done. What the hell? I think they're done for the first half of the year as well. So that puts us like a little bit close to them in the standings as well. I think if the Lakers can roll a ball here, win a couple of games, win a game tonight, get some rest during the All-Star break, come back into the second half of the season strong as hell, and get some positive wins. Maybe go on like a good 4, maybe 5 game winning streak, and hopefully these other contestants above us go on a win streak. Even if they can win about 2 games but then go on a losing streak, that helps our potential a lot. We're not that far back from the 7th seed. That's what I'm trying to say. Especially if we could get a win tonight over the New Orleans Pelicans, that will help us significantly, because if we get a win tonight and somehow, some way we end up in a tie with the Pelicans, that puts us over them. Even with the same record, we can go over them with this win tonight. So I'm hoping that we could get a win now before the All-Star break, and then come in the second half of the All-Star break in a strong push, and hopefully by postseason time we're in the picture to fight for it. Even if we don't make the playoffs, I want to see the Lakers be in the play-in, just so that we had the opportunity to say we fought to try and get ourselves in there. So we're slowly progressing, rather than last year being eliminated early on before even trying to fight for a playoff spot.
And how long is Braun out for? Like how much
It has
longer
not
before we see
said.
Braun? What's that?
Braun, if I'm LeBron James, I think LeBron James honestly is just sitting out. I think he's going to sit out this game as well, just because you'll have about a week and a half of rest from the last point. Because the last time we've seen LeBron James on the court, he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time scoring leader, and then he decided to sit out because his foot is really bothering him. And I can see, this man has been carrying the Lakers literally on his back since last year, and even last year he was getting injured. So with the same foot injury that he's dealing with this year, so I think LeBron James sits out for the rest of this first half of the season, sits out during the All-Star break. I don't even think LeBron James play in the All-Star game. I think he'll play. He'll get a couple minutes in, but I don't expect LeBron James to actually play a full All-Star game time limit. With that being said, during the second half of the season, I do probably see LeBron James probably sitting out another 2 games, hopefully 1 game, because like I said, we all know that second half of the season after the All-Star break, that's where you got to die down and start winning some games, because that's where it counts the most. Every time the second half of the season comes, no matter if it's basketball, no matter if it's baseball, second half of the season is always the most important one. And I think LeBron James knows that, which is why LeBron James hasn't played for a full week since since taking over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the all-time scoring list. I think he's playing as smart as, okay, well, let me get this rest. I won't even play the All-Star break. I will come in the second half. Hopefully my foot feels better and we'll dominate. LeBron James. I know LeBron James wants to play. You got new acquisitions. You got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley. You got freaking what's this
Vanderbilt,
guy?
Mobamba.
Vanderbilt. Yeah, you got Vanderbilt, and I know he wants to play with Mobamba. I like Mobamba. Everybody, says Mobamba's trash. I like Mobamba. I don't care. He can be trash as a shooter, but let me tell you, Mobamba gets the rebounds, and that's what we need.
Well, that's what
We
you
need
need.
somebody who can get rebounds
and play the play down there at the low spot. I mean, that's all you need. And don't forget, Malik Beasley scored 22 points last night off the bench.
AP, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Lakers take an L tonight. It's no big deal for me anymore. I mean, the Lakers. I at this point, I get excited and I get shocked both when the Lakers get a win. So it's no big deal for me if they get an L tonight. So who cares?
The
Plus,
interesting thing is
the Pelicans are a better team.
Oh yeah, well. Yeah, they are, but again, you still really don't know what you have, because James Mobamba. I mean, you don't know what this new Lakers is going to look like until James gets out there, Mobamba comes back, and then you're going to know, okay, this is what I have. Now, do I think you guys got a team that can go to the top? I don't know. I don't think so at this point, but time will tell. We got to wait and see what James comes back and Mobamba comes back, and then you're going to know what you got. But I will say this: you're only 4 games out of the 7th spot. To be honest with you, you're only 3.5 games out of the 10th spot. So it's right there for the taking. You just got to take it. And hopefully maybe, we can see some life out of this Lakers team. They get back and they can take it. But I do think I would like to see James play tonight because quite honestly, I'd like to see if they could take that game away from the Pelicans. I think you need this game. But
we do need this game because we lost to the Pelicans a couple of weeks ago. We do need this game to be tied with them in the standings. We beat them early on in the season, but the Pelicans came back and beat us a couple weeks ago. We get a win tonight, hopefully, and if we do, that puts us one game over them in a standing competition in case, and that's why I said, this is a very important game for the Lakers now going into the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You want that momentum going in. What if you get that momentum coming out? You know what I'm saying?
And what if, 2 weeks – and what if 2 weeks from now, the Lakers and Pelicans are sitting tied at the 7th and 8th spot? That will put the Lakers actually in the 7th spot with the tie record with the Pelicans because we have the more wins against them. So this is a very important game.
And truthfully, you're only about 5.5 games out of the damn 6th spot and out of the play-in. So
yeah.
I'm just saying, look, it's there, man. It's there. Now, do I know if you're going to be done? I don't think so. But at the same time, 5 games. It's 5 games. I mean, you're not that far off from the number 6 spot. So that just kind of let that put into perspective that this whole thing is still wide open. Nobody's cemented anything by any means. It's going to be good. I tell you, man, this basketball is, I want to see what it looks like coming out of this All-Star break. And I think it's going to be extremely heated up. All right, all I know, I will tell you this, though, at the same time. By the way, Blue's slacking, man. The guy just came to the door after the UPS guy, and Blue didn't even bark. Damn it. You suck.
The Thunder do play today. Okay, OKC does play today.
Do they?
They play. Yeah, they're playing your Houston Rockets tonight at 8.
Oh, yeah. The Rockets will lose. We'll lose. All we gotta do is get women.
Don't say that.
Keep losing.
Don't say that. I need the Rockets to win. I will gladly say right now, I hope the Rockets win. This will be the first time ever you hear me root for a Houston team.
I don't know, man.
Question, when the Packers trade Rodgers.
They bring another quarterback. Should they?
No, they wouldn't cut Jordan Love.
I think with Jordan Love, it's like, you ever heard of shit or piss or get off the pot? They need to figure out what they really want to do with Jordan Love. That dude's been riding around in the shadows for a long time now, man. And I think it's time to put that dude. Hey, go ahead. They should move on from Rodgers. It's time. And see what you got in Love. And if you suck with Love, then you need to get back in the saddle and find your next franchise quarterback. That Love wasn't it. But they need to put Love on the field to figure out what they have in this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we've seen a couple of games out of him in the NFL, but if I'm Jordan Love and I'm the Packers, I wouldn't do nothing with Jordan Love. I mean, you drafted him for a reason. You thought Aaron Rodgers was either going to retire or you thought you were going to move on from him. But obviously the Packers organization didn't do that. And Aaron Rodgers knew once they drafted Jordan Love, something was fishy, right? I mean, they were going to do the same thing to Aaron Rodgers the same way they did it to Brett Favre when they drafted Aaron Rodgers. So, excuse me.
Hey, Justin, breaking news. Colts just traded up to number 1 to select Bryce Young. Just announced. Hey, I'm looking at it right now on this just in on ESPN. Oh, no, wait, hold on. That might be a mock draft. Damn it. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. No, because but they put it in fine print down there at the bottom. Hey, not mock draft. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I can't see that big. I can't see that small print. That should be in big print. Hey, this just in mock draft. Damn it. Can you put some shit in some bigger lettering? Damn.
I was about to say, I didn't get no news. That would have been breaking news, hard body, even on my Twitter feed.
Hey, listen, you're not lying.
But if I'm Jordan Love, I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? I mean, You're sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. The only thing you can do is just wait your turn, right? I mean, obviously you haven't been traded yet, and if I'm the Packers, they could have traded you a long time ago, knowing that Aaron Rodgers signed that big ass deal last
Right.
year. But then again, good thing the Packers didn't do that because now Aaron Rodgers is either, threatening. I wouldn't say threaten, but he's actually putting the Packers in a situation where they don't even know if he's going to retire, and if he doesn't, is he demanding a trade out of there or what? Because we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is thinking. But Jordan Love, if I'm Jordan Love, the only thing you can do is sit there and just learn. You're learning from Aaron Rodgers. That's the one good thing I give you. You're learning from Aaron Rodgers. That's kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo when he was with the Patriots, sitting on the bench for 4 years, learning under Tom Brady. And when he got the chance, when Tom Brady got suspended for the Deflategate situation, he actually came into the starting rotation part and played the first 2 games before he got injured. Obviously, he hurt his knee, but when he came in those first 2 games, the man went 2-0 with the Patriots, and it was looking really bright for him as a starter. And it actually did look bright for him because he ended up getting traded to San Francisco, and he became the starter for San Francisco, taking them to a Super Bowl. Yes, he lost, but he took them to a Super Bowl. So if I'm Jordan Love, I'm looking at that like, okay, well, you know what? I'm learning behind Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers wants to go, go. Let me take the helm of this team then. And I think that's why the Packers are still holding on to Jordan Love. Because like I said, once they gave Aaron Rodgers all that money last year with a multi-year contract, they could have traded away Jordan Love to save up some money to try and get Aaron Rodgers a weapon, hopefully, and they didn't. So that put in the mind perspective of, okay, well, if you're going to keep him, obviously you're going to play him at some point. And hopefully next year is the year, which confused me. I don't know if it was like last month or something, or the time when Aaron Rodgers and the Packers got eliminated from the playoffs when they lost to the Lions. It confused me when Stat Guy came on here and he said the Packers should start Jordan Love next year, give him a 1-year try, and if he's not good, trade him. No, I wouldn't do that. That's not fair. Why would you trade a man if he doesn't look good his first year? For one, you got a good head coach. 2, you learned under Aaron Rodgers. What excuse does he have not to play good? The man should have we've seen him on the field, and when we do see him on the field, it's in a situation where the Packers are already losing. So you can't go out and throw that out there. You got to give the man his opportunities. And I think if he comes out next year, and even if he has a bad season, I wouldn't blame it on him. For one, the Packers were stupid enough to give Aaron Rodgers all of that money, which stopped them from getting a lot of weapons on the offensive part. You lost DeAndre Adams, so now you have nobody, right?
Right.
So if you get Jordan Love in there, now Jordan Love is stuck with this situation in this roster. But if somehow, some way you can get that money back from Aaron Rodgers by trading him, or hopefully he retires, or you don't want him to retire, because if he retires, you still have to give him that money. So hopefully by trading him, that saves up some money in cap space to where you can give Jordan Love at least one potential weapon.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the Packers are in a very weird dilemma. Number one, you don't know if the guy's going to retire. Number 2, you don't know, you just don't know what you don't know. And so, and they don't know anything really, truly. I don't think they really know truly what they really, truly have in Jordan Love, because you haven't played the man long enough to find out what you have in him. So, giving people snapshots of here or there, that's nice and all, but that's not going to give anybody a warm, fuzzy feeling. And I can't imagine the Packers have a warm, fuzzy feeling without seeing him consistently play through games and see how he works in and out of situations. Can he handle the pressure? Does he turn the ball over? Is there things in his mechanics we need to look at? I mean, how do you know any of all this if you don't give him consistent reps in a real game and not just in that practice field?
Exactly. Anthony Price says, since both coordinators for the Eagles are gone, do you see them going back-to-back deep in the playoffs next year?
I don't think that's so much on the coordinators, Frankie, as much as it is, can they get that 22 free agents under contract? And if not, who are they going to lose, and how is that going to impact them? I mean, the coordinators, that you obviously, want to make sure you get those locked in, but that's not nearly as important as those 22 contracts they got out there floating around and who they keep and who they don't keep. I think that really determines how far they go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, who's going to be their new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator? We don't know. But like Jay said, they got 22 free agents up for grabs this offseason. Once the new league starts and people are able to go ahead and grab them, they're going to get taken off the board. So can the Eagles bring them back in and restructure their contracts to re-sign with the Eagles? Hopefully. If they do, they have a strong chance at returning to the playoffs. Will they go back to the Super Bowl? I highly doubt that. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not knocking down Jalen Hurts or the Eagles organization or nothing like that. But they are going to be getting a new offensive coordinator. They are going to be getting a new defensive coordinator. How would this defense look out? Will they be better than where they were last year, or will they be worse? They were really that good, obviously, in the second half of the Super Bowl. So we don't know what that's going to look at. And in this offensive coordinator, when he comes in, Jalen Hurts now has to learn a new playbook when this offensive coordinator comes into the situation. So how quickly can the Eagles' offensive part develop on this new playbook when they come in? Is he going to play a little bit better than what he did last year? Is he going to throw the ball more than what he did last year? Is he going to run more? Because we all know he's he could be a running back in a position. Is he going to run the ball more? That's the real question. I see where AP is coming from with the offensive defensive coordinator situation, and sometimes that does take a toll on people. When you look at the Patriots last year, we didn't have no offensive coordinator, and we were shit. We were dog shit. Right?
Oh,
we were
yeah.
bad. Now we got Bill O'Brien as offensive coordinator. I'm expecting different things with the Patriots, with Bill O'Brien actually with the solid offensive coordinator at that. Look, it didn't have to be Bill O'Brien, Jay. It could have been anyone to come in as an offensive coordinator, but an offensive mind guy, not someone like Matt Patricia, who's a defensive mind guy coming in and running our offensive schemes. I don't like that. That obviously that didn't work out well for us last year. So I'm glad that we got Bill O'Brien to come in, and I'm looking and expecting a lot of changes in Mac Jones. I'm expecting a lot of changes in this offensive playbooks, and I can't wait to see what they look like next year. So that's what the mindset of the Eagles have to go in next year. I don't think they're going to be Super Bowl bound next year. Deep in the playoffs, I don't know. The only reason they possibly can is because the NFC, honestly, it's weak. It's weak. It really is weak. The NFC, they don't have top name players anymore. Oh, excuse me. All those players that were top name people ended up coming to the AFC, and most of them went to the AFC West. So, I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to say with the NFC side. I mean, that's your division rival, Jay.
Man, hey, but I want to. Hey, listen, I'm tracking, man. Hey, with the Eagles, I don't think it's going to drop them off, man. Look, again, as long as they get the key players in that 22 locked up, I think they'll be just fine. And I do expect to see them in the playoffs again next year. And I think they can go deep, man. Like, look, they got all their playmakers on the offense lined up. The only thing they really got to do is find out if Saturday is going to retire or not. And if he doesn't retire, you need to get his ass under contract ASAP. And then work your other 21 down from there. And honestly, I think two of those out of the 22, two of them, one is Saturday, one is the extension that they want to give to Jalen Hurts. But I think you can push that extension off until next year and give him that extension next year and get the other 21 guys under contract first, and then deal with him next year and get him paid. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that's what you do. But because he's going to want a big contract, Frankie, that man's going to want to get some serious money. He's going to want that cheese. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to have to pay that man. So I push that off till next year. I franchise tag him. No, you don't have to do that because he's under contract. So I just push it off till next year, and I tell him, look, Jalen, I want to get these 21 done this year. Next year, we're going to pay you the money. We're going to give you the quan, and we'll deal with it next year. And I would just go that route, man, honestly. That's just me. But I will tell you this. I don't know if you guys saw this, man. Bieniemy is going to interview for the Washington offensive coordinator spot. Why? I mean, I think it's a good move, honestly, on his part. I think he needs to get out from underneath Andy Reid's shadow and show the world, yo, look what I did over here at KC. Look what I'm doing over here with Washington. And if he could prove successful on both ends of the spectrum, because let's be honest, they are on both ends of the spectrum. Chiefs are at the top, Washington's at the bottom. If he can bring Washington back into the promised land, it really is going to show how well he's done on that offense, especially if he can get something out of Wentz or Howell or whoever it is they roll with. If he can resurrect that offense and get it back up to a good level, I think there's a head coaching job in the near future for him. And I think he needs to get out from underneath Andy Reid's shadow.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's why he's going to take the offensive coordinator spot with Washington, just because he wants to prove to the world that he can be a winning coach with any type of quarterback, not just Patrick Mahomes and not just under Andy Reid's shadow, but with other people. I think that's why he's going to do it, and I do see him going. I mean, it will suck to see him go because you can continue to win with that franchise, but he's never going to be seen as a potential future head coach if he continues to ride this train that he's riding on in Kansas City. Eagles would have been in a better spot replacing the DC and then replacing the OC because again it sucked. Okay, Damian, let me just say this right now. Matt Nagy won a Super Bowl without you guys. Boom! Shots fired.
Ooh, that was a shot fired. I think he gave a proverbial middle finger as he won too. That's what things were saying. I agree with what Anthony Price is saying. Yeah, you're going to spend more there. But let me ask you this, Anthony. You give Jalen Hurts the contract now. You miss out on getting players re-signed that you need on that defense. You don't go as far as you think you wanted to go. You still back to square one. I mean, which way do you want to go? Because if you give him the big contract now, while he still has years left on it, and you don't get those 21 or at least the key guys in that 21, you're going to still be hurting regardless, one way or the other, whether you spent the money or didn't spend the money. I mean, I say keep the team intact for one more year. Let them make another playoff run at it. Because let's be honest, what's the reasons that the Eagles lost anyway? On a holding call and on a slip out of the hand fumble. That's the two reasons why. Those are the two biggest momentum things why you lost to Kansas City Chiefs. Both of those can be fixed. Both of those issues can be fixed. And then you're back on top again. So I think if you want to make another serious run at a Super Bowl, you want to keep this team intact. And the only way you do it is securing the 21 or 22 free agents you got and then coming back and deal with him later. Yes, you're going to have to spend more money. You know what? Welcome to the NFL. Everybody gets paid a lot of money. Welcome to the NFL. What do you mean? What do you mean? We gave Dak. What do you say? See why you don't? Why would we want to wait? Dak. You think Dak was going to get more money had we waited another year? Honestly, he got what he got. I don't buy into that. Now, if Dak went out there and played incredibly well, like kicking ass, and we go deep in the playoffs, then yeah, okay, he's going to get the money. But as long as our asses are still a first-round exit, you're not paying Dak any more than what you paid him that last go-around. He doesn't warrant it.
Jay said he wants to see Dak in pads in the Super Bowl rather than see Dak in a suit in the Super Bowl, all right?
Just saying, man. If you want the Quan, get us past the first damn round. Get us into the NFC Championship game at least. At the very least, get us into the NFC Championship game, and I'll give you the freaking Quan. Damn. Always got to pay these bums money that they don't really deserve. I'm sorry. You know what else I'm going to tell you? Lamar Jackson don't deserve no damn guaranteed contract either. He don't deserve it. He don't.
Yeah, I was going to say AP's a Ravens fan, right?
No, he's a Redskins fan. That's what I'm tracking. AP, you tell me if I'm wrong. I believe you're a Redskins fan, correct?
There is no Redskins team.
Commanders. My bad. Commanders. He's a Commanders fan. There you have it.
Trust me. My wife's aunt's uncle, who's basically my uncle-in-law, he's a Washington Commanders fan, and trust me, once they changed the name and they weren't Redskins no more, he stopped watching football. He's like, they're still the Redskins to me. I go to his house and he has all Redskins around. I go,
yeah, I mean, look, since I was born, they were the Redskins. All of a sudden now, I'm getting close to I'm right at now 50. You want to change the name and expect me to? Come on, man. I need more time than that to process.
It's like the Cleveland Guardians. I miss when they used to be called the Cleveland Indians, because now every time I watch Major Leagues, it confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, again, there's certain things that's just going to take time to get used to. I'm still, in my mind, they're still the Indians, even though I know they changed their name and now they're the Guardians. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a time for us when the Seattle Supersonics ended up becoming the Oklahoma City Thunders, but now we all forgot about the Supersonics. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Wow, I don't know if you saw this.
We know, AP. We know we're football fans. We know why you guys had to change the name. We know every reason. You don't have to tell us that they had to change the name. We know. We just don't know why you guys ended up with the Washington Commanders. If that's gonna go, you might as well just continue calling yourself the Washington Football Team.
Wow. So former Eagles player Chris Moragos is poised to receive $43.5 million from orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Bradley and the Rothman Orthopedics Institute after they were found liable for medical negligence in regards to an injury that cut short Moragos' NFL playing career. The jury in Philadelphia was ordered Bradley to pay $29.2 million and the Rothman Orthopedics Institute to pay $14.3 million. Man, telling you, man, that's pretty nice. Hey, damn it, they mess up, but damn, what a nice payday that is. $43.5 million. Yeah, I'd be nice on $43.5 million. I'd be chilling. Somewhere.
You gotta get your money somehow, some way when you get out of the NFL league, right?
Oh man, you know what though, man? But hey, seriously, that's some serious business though. When you're playing with somebody's career and they had the potential to make millions and millions and millions. I mean, yeah, you don't want to. They look if you're gonna do a medical malpractice, that's the last son of a bitch you want to do a medical malpractice on. I'm just saying. Now, if you take some guy down there that seriously, has that $10.95 a month medical insurance, little malpractice, whatever. Here's a little $20,000. You go have a nice day.
And I'm glad he actually did that, because we've seen in the past, especially in baseball recently, players, getting medical treatment and ended up obviously, either ending their career short or actually even ending their lives really short as well. So I'm really glad that he did that and he's getting his money's worth for winning. Do y'all think if the Jets do sign Derek Carr, they can be a Super Bowl contending team? No. No.
They still need some more pieces over there, but they are looking good, but they still need some pieces. Number one, you got to figure, how is Breece Hall going to come back off that ACL tear? I think he comes back okay, but you never know. I mean, honestly, you never know how they're going to come back until they come back. So it depends on how Breece Hall, if he can resume that stellar career that he had when he went out. I don't know, Frankie, man. Hey, if you get the right quarterback in there, you got that new offensive coordinator in Hackett over there. I don't think they make the Super Bowl, but I do think that they make the playoffs, and I do think they make that division extremely, extremely tough. Frankie, your division is tough, man. But from the Bills to Miami to the Jets, if they get caught, I mean, bro, you're going to have a hard battle to fight over there in New England. Now, I'm not saying it can't be done in New England, but I'm saying, but you're going to have a tough fight to get into the playoffs. I promise you.
Well, we had a tough fight this year to try and get in, and we didn't successfully win it. But
that's true.
It was a fight. It was a fight, and it was an interesting one. I actually like when football comes down to that situation, especially in the last game of the season, where if you win it, you're in it. If you lose, you gotta hopefully cross your fingers and hope that the other teams lose. But it didn't work out in my favor at the end. But it's still, it made me happy to see that the Jets ended up in last place in the division, because like I said, last year before the season started, the Jets are going to end up in last place compared to everybody else's thought that the Jets were going to, possibly do something and even possibly be in the playoffs. And, it just didn't happen. As long as Bill Belichick and the Patriots still come out and win 2 games against the Jets will always be in last place. They will always be in last place. It don't matter. It really don't matter to me.
Hey, I'll tell you this. Can we agree? Can me and you come to an agreement on at least, if nothing else, that Bill Belichick needs to stick with the traditional offensive coordinator and let him do his job and he just be the head coach and do what he do? I mean, I think if anything else, we can agree on that if the Patriots want any success at all, they need to have an offensive coordinator, the right offensive coordinator, in order for this team to propel and get away from whatever that concoction that Belichick was trying to do. You know what I mean?
Next year, Jay, because guess what? We got an offensive coordinator, and we got a good one. And I just think that that Bill Belichick's going to let Bill O'Brien do what he does because he knows Bill O'Brien is a good offensive coordinator. And that just keeps Bill Belichick back into the defensive mind schemes and focus on the defensive part, even though he don't have to, because Gerard Mayo and Steve Belichick does a great job in the defensive part. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong.
Like I said.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong though, but wasn't Bill O'Brien the offensive coordinator for Matt when he was there at Alabama? So these guys are already used to each other.
Yeah, he coached Matt for a little bit. Matt for a little bit before Matt got into the draft. And not only that, Bill O'Brien's been on the Patriots team before back when Josh McDaniels became head coach for the Denver Broncos. Actually, no, he was he was the head coach for the Denver Broncos back in the year 2011, 2010, 2011 season. Bill O'Brien was our offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And actually got us to the Super Bowl. And that's when we actually we lost. No, it was the 2011-2012 season. Got us to the Super Bowl. We lost to the Giants the second time, but he still got us there. Yes, it was under Tom Brady, but it was his offensive plays that also helped us get there. So I do, I'm really excited that Bill O'Brien is back.
Frankie, Mike is killing you in the comments right now. He just killing you, Frankie. Killing me in the comments, man.
Hold on.
Who cares? Yeah. Balls.
But you know what's funny is he still talks about how the Bears shitted on the Patriots this year, yes. But after you did that, Mike, your Bears went on a 7-game losing streak, becoming the first team to get eliminated from the playoffs. Your Chicago Cubs are dog shit. You decide to go to the White Sox Stadium rather than go to Wrigley Field because you're tired of watching the Cubs play. Your Chicago Bulls still haven't made a trade and didn't make a trade. You guys are shit. Anything else? Oh, Chicago Sky. Yeah, the sky has fallen for the Chicago Sky, sir. You want me to keep going? You want me to keep going? At that time, sir, you wasn't the worst team in the league. At that time, you weren't the worst team in the league, sir. At that time, it was only 4 weeks in, so suck my nuts.
Boy, I tell you what, it don't take much to go off rails on this show these days. Let me tell you. One comment. That's all it takes. Just one comment. We're left. We're every damn place. What a time to be alive. Frankie,
imagine having a quarterback like Justin Fields, and yet you still go down because you guys suck.
He said,
Hey, yo, Mike, imagine having Justin Fields break records for you guys as a running back, and yet you still don't do nothing and just win 3 games. Hey, yo, Mike, you know what's funny about that? Mac Jones got more wins in the NFL than Justin Fields does. Imagine that. And he win a season without an offensive coordinator, Jay. He win a season without an OC and still have more wins than Justin Fields in the NFL. Probably even in the college football league as well. Yeah, he does. Because guess what? When he was in Alabama as a starter, my man went undefeated and won a national championship. Did Justin Fields do it? No.
Hey, look, again, I'm not completely sold on Justin Fields. Honestly, I know he's got great feet.
Damian.
He's a good playmaker,
Damian,
and I know Mike will tell you that he doesn't have a lot of time to throw the ball. So what do you expect? So I think Chicago's got a lot of issues, and that quarterback isn't really the main focus. That offensive line should be Chicago's main focus because your offensive line is a bunch of pansies in Chicago. I'll just tell you that. Imagine being in the NFL longer than just about anybody else has been in the NFL, but yet you have the offensive line of a damn expansion team. I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
Imagine, Jay. I just want to say, the state of Chicago is in a state of emergency right now. All right, the Chicago Blackhawks are dog shit on the ice. The Chicago Sky are falling with losing players. All right, the Chicago Bears are literally losing fans. Their tickets price is as cheap as the Jets fans. Okay. You want me to keep going?
You know what I've learned in this conversation? Frankie, you know what I've learned in this conversation? I've learned one thing. If anybody else ever makes fun of the Patriots, you better be prepared to have all of your teams go down in flames with Frankie the Yankee. That's a fact.
Oh, straight facts.
That is a fact, Frankie. You don't have more than one team in each city. You don't even root for the New York teams. He said you fake native. Damn, Frankie.
I don't root for New York teams. I don't root for a New York team. I'm the number one Yankee fan in your life. You know that. I'm the number one Liberty fan in your life. So kiss my ass, okay?
So now you got to be a Knicks fan, and you got to choose between the Giants and the Jets, and you're copacetic,
right? He wants me to become even a bigger loser. He wants me to join his little wagon of.
Well, what do they say, Frankie? Doesn't misery love company?
Apparently.
I'm just saying. That's what my daddy always told me. He said, "Boy, misery loves company." He said, "Go Lakers, go Pats, go Yankees, go Argentina."
Argentina. You're an Argentina fan, bro? Is that soccer? Is that supposed to be soccer?
He said your soccer team is outside the U.S.
I'm not even a soccer. I don't even watch soccer.
Hey, he could at least said, hey, if he was going to talk about a team outside the U.S., he could at least gave you Brazil. And Damian says, hey, Jay, how did it feel to see Dak Prescott get booed at the Super Bowl? About as good as to see the Chicago Bears get booed at home, I guess. I don't know. You tell me. I guess about as good as
I still got
Zach Levine, broke-ass Lonzo, and it used to be DeMar on your Chicago Bulls. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Shit. Let me kiss that ball. Sexy motherfucker. He's not bald yet. Frankie does have a little bit of hair left up. He's not completely bald yet. So we're not quite there, but we're getting close. We're getting close.
You leave Lonzo out of this, he's going through a lot. Yes, going through a lot of losses, a lot of injuries.
Hey, Mike, he's getting paid a lot of money to just chill out on the bench and not do a damn thing, which, by the way, is the American way.
Hey, I just want to say, imagine having Lonzo Ball, right? And he's more dog ass than he was when he was with the Lakers.
Wow, what a time to be alive.
Like how does that feel? Exactly. We drafted Lonzo, and I'm pissed about it, right? We drafted Lonzo, but yet when we had Lonzo, he played better on his rookie contract than he does right now as a pro with the Chicago Bulls. And I don't even want to hear you say, oh, because he's on the bench right now. Because when you guys had him, he still was dog shit, Mike. Don't sit there acting like Lonzo's a top-tier freaking point guard. Stop. I know we could have had Tatum. That's not my fault. That's the stupid genie bus in front office fault. Don't blame that on me.
Wow,
if I was in that front office, I would have picked up Tatum.
Back to sports though. Hey, just so you know, Calvin Ridley did apply for reinstatement. So, yeah, we will be getting some Calvin Ridley next year with these Jaguars. I'm telling you, Frank, these Jaguars are looking pretty good for next year, man. I think they're going to make some good noise in that South Division. What a time, man. Jeez.
What are you smoking? He was killing it, and we were second in the East. He led the East in threes and assists. Stop that right now. And what happened? And what happened what happened in the playoffs, sir? What happened? Did he show up in the playoffs and got you guys to the finals? No. Cry about it right now, Mike. Cry about it. Go in your basement and cry about it on your Bulls jersey. Oh, now he was hurt. Throw that out there. Now he was hurt, Jay. He was smoking and he was killing it. Getting them in the second in the East and leading in 3 in assists. But once playoff came around, he was hurt.
Mike.
Because he knows.
Yeah, listen, we are straight all the way to the left now. Can we get somewhere back to the center? I mean, damn, son.
Yeah,
all the way left.
Yeah, so Calvin really, I think. Yeah, so Calvin really. This is what Mike does. He sets me off.
Hey, Mike.
So,
hey,
yeah,
look,
Calvin really.
We gave Mike too much time, man.
So yeah, Ridley's gonna return. I think that's positive for the Jacksonville Jaguars, even though how good they were this year, making it to the divisional round to face the Kansas City Chiefs. I do expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to dominate their division next year, and then potentially, hopefully, making it to the AFC Championship round the next year. I'm tired of seeing the Kansas City Chiefs. I really am tired of seeing it. It's kind of like. Now I'm starting to feel like why everybody was tired of seeing the Patriots in the Super Bowl all the time. Now it's like I'm tired of seeing the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. I'd rather see the freaking Jacksonville Jaguars go up against the Cincinnati Bengals at this point in the AFC Championship game. But it's great, man. Calvin Ridley's gonna be great when he comes back. I think it's gonna put a real good target on Trevor Lawrence being a really good quarterback, having Zay Jones and all these other people, even Christian Kirk. You got a lot of good targets over there in Jacksonville.
Hey, real quick. So Jim Irsay said that the Colts do plan to take a quarterback in the draft. And he did kind of make a tweet and said, although the Alabama guy doesn't look bad, I'll tell you. I'm telling you, Frankie, do not be surprised. Do not. If they leapfrog the Texans into that one spot with the Bears and they snag Bryce Young, I would not be surprised one bit.
Well, you know what, Jay? That's just gonna make the Chicago Bears even more of a loser. You got the number one draft pick, and you're just dumb. You're just dumb. Chicago's just being dumb right now. Because you can get with that number one pick, Jay, you don't need a quarterback, right? You got Justin Fields. If I'm the Chicago Bears, why not just go and get a top tier wide receiver with that number one pick? Get Justin Fields some help on that offensive part.
Yeah, and there have been reports out there that Fields' name's been thrown out as possible trade. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, are the Colts really 100% on the Justin Fields bandwagon? And would they maybe take a chance on Bryce Young and trade away Fields for picks or whatever the case may be?
He says none of those wide receivers are worth number one. We could trade down and still get a top receiver.
Well, that's true. You could trade down and get a wide receiver. That's not a that is a lot of truth to that.
Mike, I want to know who would you make a trade with, and what do you want to get out of it? If you guys trade down, I want to know that, because obviously, if you guys trade the number one draft pick, you're obviously going to get a player out of it, a good player. And obviously you're gonna probably have a swap draft somewhere late in the round or something like that. I want to know who you think you could make a trade with, and who would you get out of it? Shut the. All right, Damian, you're done. Bears should trade that pick for Stephon Diggs. Yeah, because Stephon Diggs wants to go and play with Chicago. You idiot. Come on, Damian. Be smart, bro. Stephon Diggs don't want to play for Chicago. He likes where he's
That's
at
true.
in Buffalo, and he likes playing with Josh Allen. He doesn't want to
I
go.
wouldn't go. I would not
Chicago.
go near Chicago with a 10-foot pole until they address that offensive line issue.
He says Stephon. Hold on, let me put that back up. Stephon Diggs, because he doesn't want to be in Buffalo. Jay, Stephon Diggs doesn't want to be in Buffalo.
Nah, I don't believe that for one damn minute.
Oh my God.
He doesn't want to be in Buffalo, but he
Diggs.
does want to be in Chicago. Just saying that sounds
trade
stupid.
1 for 2 and 12 to the Texans. But if they don't give 12, I'll take the number 2, Brandon Cooks, and a second rounder. That's not bad. Honestly, that's not bad. I would take Brandon Cooks as well. That's people keep sleeping on him. I think he's still that good wide receiver that he can be. It's just in the organization that he's in. Nobody can be good when you're in the Houston Texans. But if he was to be on the side with Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, I think that'll be a good, he'll be a good solid one for them until they get that true number 1 wide receiver. Trade to the Panthers for DJ Moore. That's a good one too. I can see that.
DJ Moore would be a good pickup for them. And let's be honest, Carolina needs to go into rebuild mode. Honestly, they need to. If they give it DJ Moore, I feel like that's almost them kind of going into rebuild, which they should. I mean, that team needs an overhaul. Like I would keep Devontae Foreman, but the rest of that team, I mean, they really need an overhaul on that team, from the quarterback all the way around.
Mike is just going wild right now to where I'm not even going to show stuff. Mike, we are a professional show. This isn't unscripted.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to say stuff like that, you come on unscripted. God, what is wrong with you, Mike? He must have not. Mike, did you get any loving last night on Valentine's, bro? Did you get any?
Hey, I got a feeling Mike Hughes getting a call from Jay Ness. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there's going to be a definite call from Jay Ness. I see a call in Mike's future. I just see a call in Mike's future. That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of Jay Ness, did he call you, Jay? Jay, did he call you yet?
Hey, he hasn't called me yet, man. So I guess I'm not fired as of right now. So I guess all is well.
Oh, man, he didn't get no loving on Valentine's Day.
Hey, all is well, or Jay Ness is still stoned and forgot to call. What do you think the most likely outcome is there in that scenario? I don't know.
Tell Jay to call me. I'm going to ask him when he's going to start paying us. Click hang up.
Hey, man. Hey, look, I'm the last one to tell you that. But, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hey, damn. I would like to get paid one day. Hell, I think my damn stand-up comedy shit could probably do well. I've been working on this, Frankie. I've been doing more stand-ups left and right, man. So I've been getting some spots here and there. I think I've almost got it perfected now. I think we're doing good. We'll see. Not really. We'll see.
Gotta pay my dues, fellas. Hey, Jay, I just want you to know something, Jay. Jay, your stand-up comedy,
man. I tell you.
Your stand-up comedy, it's good, but it's better than any sports team in Chicago.
Oh, man, it's a rough one. It's a rough one in the world. It's a rough one.
Yeah, it's rough when you're still good, but you're just you're just a bit over the level of being better than any sports team in the city of Chicago.
Well, everything's a work in progress, Frankie. We can't all just come out and be LeBron James in basketball right off the rip. Some of us got to work at it, Frankie. Some of us got to work at it.
You'll be fine. Before you know it, you will be the Houston Astros of stand-up comedy.
Hey, all I know, and I'm assuming Mike is talking about me when he says this. I'm assuming he's referring to me. But
Yeah.
I will tell you, hey, listen, you didn't complain about it when it was in your mouth.
Hey, whoa. Okay, we're at the end of the show. Any final thoughts, Jay?
Hey, I'm just saying, micro or not, he enjoyed it. No, final thought for real, honestly, all the joking aside. Final thoughts. Hey, check out Unscripted tomorrow, man. Hey, we got a really good show. We're going to talk about these quarterbacks that are coming up in the draft. How good are they? Where should they go? Things like that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget, man, check out my boy Frankie on Twitter, Unscripted Guys. He keeps us all up to date on that. So Unscripted Guys, all one word on Twitter. Check us out. And TikTok, Unscripted Sports, all one word. And then, yeah, man. It's gonna be fun.
Hold on, because I got news from Mike Hughes here. He has gotten in trouble from the site of Facebook for his saying on "I'm gonna go set your house on fire."
Oh
damn! He is in trouble with the site of Facebook. Who knows if he'll get – I think he got banned for a little bit, so that means he'll be gone for about 30 days.
Mike, you can't say everything you want to say on Facebook. Some of that stuff you got to put in the chat like everybody else. Jesus.
Or just go to YouTube.
Yeah, say it on YouTube, damn it.
But
hey, Frankie. Mike is such a rookie at this. That's a rookie move. That's a rookie mistake right there. I'm saying. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
done. Yes, Damian, we are going to be live this Saturday for Elimination Chamber watch along. Myself, Jay McLovin, Chris, and Tony Gonzo are going to be there. Hopefully, Logan Landers be there. Rob Scott will probably be there. So we're going to do a Elimination Chamber, and that'll be our last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, April 1st and April 2nd, two-nighter in Los Angeles, where WrestleMania goes Hollywood. It's been a long time since they've been in this state of LA for WrestleMania, so I'm really excited for that one. We know right now for WrestleMania we have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and also Cody Rhodes is going up for grabs for the right now the undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship. It's supposed to be with Roman Reigns, but depending on Saturday night's Elimination Chamber match between both Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn, things can change if Sami Zayn wins. But I don't think Sami Zayn is going to win this Saturday. It's going to be a good match, obviously, because they're in his hometown of Montreal. I don't expect him beating Roman Reigns, so we're most likely going to get Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania as well. Those are the only two matches right now that are set.
We all want that.
Sami Zayn is a really good in-ring competitor. Like when you see him wrestle, he can really be good. Like you'll see it on Saturday when he goes up against Roman Reigns. When you think Roman Reigns is gonna win it, you'll see Sami Zayn not giving up. So who'll surprise you this Saturday when you see him on the Elimination Chamber going up against the Tribal Chief and Roman Reigns? But for right now, those are the only two matches in set for WrestleMania. Like I said, it's a two-nighter, WrestleMania April 1st and April 2nd. We will be live for both of those nights as well. Tune in Saturday where we'll be live for Elimination Chamber. Chris Gonzo will be back, like I said, with his dad, Tony, who we like to call Sexy Pops. We'll have Jay McLovin there, Logan Landers, Rob Scott. So tune in Saturday on Unscripted. Even I think Gonzo Sports Room as well. You can catch us on both of those sites. Are we going
to put it on Twitter, Unscripted's Twitter and Facebook? I mean, I know it'll be Unscripted's Facebook, but are we going to do Unscripted? And we need to put it on Unscripted Twitter as well.
Yeah, we'll put it on Unscripted Twitter, and I'll make sure either myself or Gonzo will do the hashtag for WWE and stuff like that, and hashtags for Elimination Chamber, so we can get some viewers and fans that are watching the pay-per-view who can't watch it or who's too busy to watch it. They can see us give live thoughts and reactions as well from the fans of the wrestling fan base as well. But yeah, my final thoughts is everybody enjoy your day. Beautiful Wednesday. If you're a wrestling fan, AEW tonight, catch that tonight as well. Baseball, we said it earlier. Pitchers and catchers are basically meeting today, and hopefully, throwing some baseballs out there on the field. Basketball tonight, right before the All-Star break this weekend. I think tomorrow is the last. Yes, tomorrow is the last games of the first half of the season. Then we're in the All-Star break, and yeah. Other than that, this is your boy Frankie C and Jay McLovin, wishing you guys a good day, and we are out of here, Jay.
Deuces, Palan!